This is the Sony Alpha 7 IV. I picked it up because I wanted one camera that could handle stills and video without juggling bodies. From my experience, this is a true hybrid that earns that label. I won't waste your time. Here's what stood out to me and where it made me pause. On looks and feel, the grip is deeper than older Sony bodies, and that matters when you mount a heavier zoom. The body feels solid, the doors and port covers close with confidence. And the weather sealing has held up in light rain and dusty parks. The fully articulating touchscreen flips and rotates in every direction, which makes low angles, vertical framing, and talking to camera easy. The new stills, video, S&Q switch under the mode dial is simple but effective, and the record button on top is placed where your finger naturally lands. The EVF is sharp and smooth at 120 frames per second, and color exposure preview matches the final shot closely. So I trust what I see. A tiny nitpick, the two main dials on top feel the same, and more than once I spun the wrong one while looking through the viewfinder. Using it day to day, autofocus is the star. IAF for people, animals, and birds locks on fast and sticks. I've shot kids running under mixed light, and the keeper rate surprised me. Tracking through branches and crowds is strong, and it doesn't hunt much in dim venues. The 33-megapixel sensor gives me detailed files with room to crop, and dynamic range lets me pull shadows without making the image fall apart. At ISO 6400, it's clean enough for client work, and even ISO 12800 is usable with a touch of noise reduction. For video, 4K 30p looks crisp because it's oversampled from 7K. Internally, it records 10-bit 422, which simply means you get more color information and smoother gradients for grading. If you don't want to grade, S-Cinetone delivers nice skin tones straight out of camera. If you do want to grade, S-Log3 gives you a flat profile to capture more highlight and shadow detail. 4K 60p is available, but it uses a 1.5 times APS-C crop. That's not a deal breaker for me. I switch to a wider lens or backup, but it's something you should plan around. Rolling shutter is mild in APS-C 4K and more noticeable in full-frame 4K if you whip pan, so I avoid fast horizontal moves unless I'm in the cropped mode. Heat hasn't bothered me. I've recorded long interviews and B-roll with no shutdowns after setting the temp limit appropriately. Image stabilization in body helps a lot with photos at slower shutter speeds and makes handheld video steadier. It isn't a gimbal, but it saves shots. Battery life on the NP-FC 100 is solid. I've shot a full afternoon of stills and a couple of 4K clips without stress. USB-C power is clutch for time lapses and long sessions. 2 card slots give flexibility. One supports CF Express Type A for the fastest bursts and high bitrate video. The other is SD. If you want the best performance, especially long raw bursts and 10-bit 4K, use a V90 SD or CF Express. Slower cards bottleneck the buffer. The menus are cleaner than older Sonys and now respond to touch, but there's a lot in there. I spent an evening setting up my menu and remapping buttons. It's worth it though. Now the camera feels tailored. One more note on speed. Bursts top out around 10 FPS with AF/AE. That's fine for most of my work, but if you chase elite sports, you may want a stacked sensor body. Key features that stand out to me are the 33-megapixel full-frame sensor with strong dynamic range, the 759-point phase detect AF with reliable eye tracking, 4K up to 60p in 10-bit 422, the fully articulating touchscreen, 5-axis stabilization, and the improved Bion's XR processor that keeps everything responsive. Connectivity is practical too. Fast USB-C, clean HDMI, and the option to stream or transfer quickly when I need to share right away. The parts I keep coming back to are simple. The photos look great. Colors are natural enough that I don't have to fight skin tones. Files are flexible, so if I miss exposure a bit or want a tighter crop, I can fix it without introducing weird artifacts. The autofocus feels like a safety net, especially for portraits and pets. For video, 10-bit 422 gives me cleaner grades. And S-Cinetone saves time when I want something pleasing right away. The body feels robust, the grip is reassuring, and the flip screen makes awkward angles easy. The EVF is fast, so tracking motion feels confident rather than guessy. Battery life and USB power keep me shooting instead of babysitting chargers. In my opinion, the biggest trade-offs are the cropped 4K 60p, the modest 10 FPS burst, and the need for fast cards if you want everything the spec sheet promises. The menu depth can still overwhelm at first. I also wish the top dials had different textures. None of these are deal breakers for me, but they're worth knowing before you buy. It's perfect for creators who shoot a mix of stills and video and want one body that rarely says no. Wedding shooters, event folks, documentary work, travel, portraits, and YouTube content. This camera fits all of that. From my experience, it's reliable and predictable in a good way. I know what I'll get when I press the shutter or hit record, and that lets me focus on the moment instead of the settings. I'd recommend this for someone stepping up from an older 24-megapixel body who wants more resolution without killing low-light performance, or for anyone who needs 10-bit video with strong autofocus and a fully articulating screen. If you're mostly shooting elite sports or need uncropped 4K 60p, you might look at other bodies, but for everything else, this sits in a sweet spot. In conclusion, the Sony Alpha 7 IV feels like a balanced, dependable tool. It delivers detail-rich photos, confident autofocus, and polished 4K video with useful color options. It's not flashy, it's consistent. That's exactly what I want when the light changes, subjects move, and the shot matters. I will update specific information about the Sony Alpha 7 IV in the comments. Don't forget to catch my next video.